Hello and welcome to this video of our complete Android app developer course. So we were discussing about variables in Java and what are and how you can refer to different components of your application, your Android application as variables in Java so that you can access the values inside them and manipulate what that component of your application do or does. So as we were going through Java deep dive, first we understood variables. I hope you have seen the last video and understood the concepts of variables. Now in this video we are going to understand logical and conditional statements. So what are logical and conditional statements? A condition or a statement is put forward, and if the statement is true, then a set of instructions are run. But if the condition is false, then the other set of instructions are carried out. This is known as logical or conditional statements. So in Java there are several ways to do so. The most common of them are if else statement. In if else statement, a condition is put inside if, and if that condition is true, then a set of instructions are carried out, and if that condition is not true, then all the instructions under then then else is used, right? So if the conditions are true, then you do this, or else you do this, right? To understand more about this concept, we will make a small Android app, so you will get the basic idea of how to use if else statements in your application. Let's begin. So here I have my design view, and first let me tell you about the application that we are going to make. It's a very pretty simple application, and while I go through the similar concepts that we ran through in our last videos, you will get a understanding of how things work in an Android Studio or when we are making an Android app. Okay, so there will be two edit texts. If you remember what edit text is something in which user puts some value and it is stored somewhere, right? We when we want user to put something or some value, then it is put under edit text. So there will be two edit texts, first number and second number. Two numbers will be input, and then our main work is when we press the button, there will be a button. Then it tells us if the first number is bigger than the second number, or if first number is smaller than the second number, or they both are equal. So that is the task for today. Okay, so let's just go to text, and we'll go to plain text. Plain text is basically edit text. We will just drag it here, zoom it a bit, and then change the basic settings, right? So first of all, the id, it is fnum, which means first number. Okay, and we'll remove the text inside of it, and we will just write hint in place of it. Okay, so let's go to h, and here it is, hint. So the hint is first number, and I guess that's it. So let's just jump over here, and then we will have our second number, right? So we will just drag it here. Okay, so here's our second number, and okay, so we will just line them like this, a bit of. Okay, so as we change the settings of first number, we will change the settings of this too. Okay, so let's just convert into snum, which means second number, and then we will remove this as we did with the first one. Yes, and then we will remove this. Okay, and then what we will do is we want a hint, right? So we will go to hints, and hints. df. Okay, here it is. We will go to hint, and in hint we will write second number, right? And that's it. And then here's the first number, here's the second number, and then there's a button, right? So we will have a button. So let's go to the palette. Palette is basically a place where all the components are there. You can just drag and drop. And the other way to do so is by writing actual XML file. And we will learn about it in future lectures, where instead of just dragging and dropping, which is a much easier way but not efficient. In future lectures, we will write XML files to code these things like edit text, buttons, etc. directly through the XML file. And in that case, we won't be doing these, just dragging and dropping of from the palette. So let's just remove the button and just name it check, because we are checking what the relation between both the numbers is. And then what we can do, the id is button. Okay, no problem. And that's it, I guess. We will have to constrain it though. Okay, what we will constrain it to. Let's just horizontally constrain it, and horizontally constrain it here, and horizontally constrain it here. Okay, I think that's it. So minimize it, and that's our app. But we want something to happen, right? We want a text to appear, so we'll drag a text view here. Okay, but we will remove the text inside the text view, so it's like there was nothing there before, but we added something. Result, we will name it a result. Okay, just name it result. And I think that's it. Now let's see how it looks, and then we will code about it. Okay, let's just check first key, what is its appearance. The And as I told you that when for the first time emulator is run, it takes some time. For the second time, it runs faster, and further it goes like that. So now we have basically made the basic front end of the web for the application, and now we'll see how it looks. Okay, see, there is some issue. Okay, let's see what's the issue. Okay, let's just cross it. Uh, let's go to Java. There's some issue in Java, I guess. Okay, we don't want this function here. There's no use of this function right here. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, let's just see it again. Let's run the emulator again and check. So if this goes fine this time, what we have to do for the next time is we will code the backend with Java. We'll refer the button as a variable, and then when we will get the button as a variable, we will manipulate it into doing what we wanted to do by creating a function. What are functions? Function is basically a functionality that happens when something occurs, right? Okay, let's see. And then we will manipulate that button to access the values between editx1 and editx2, which have first number and second number. And then we will check who is greater and who is not. See, the first number 213, the second number 23434. And when we will press on check, it will tell us what is bigger than what. Okay, so that is our app. Let's go down, and I think that's it. Okay, now let's jump right into it. First of all, we'll go to on create. As I told you in previous lecture, what is on create? On create, on click. On click is basically we are letting the compiler know key what we want it to do when the button is pressed. So, well, let's say the name of the function is check it. Okay, now the red box is there because we haven't created a checkit function yet. Now we will create a checkit function. So it says public void public because we want it to be publicly accessed by any other devices, our emulator, etc. Void because it is not returning anything. Everything that is happening inside the functionality of that function. So public void and then name. What we named it check it, right? And then just because we are accessing different components of the view that we talked about in the last video, we have to call it, right? So view, okay, and then brackets, and now we will write the checkit function. So first we have to access, what we have to access, we have to access the edit text 1 and edit text 2, which we named fnum and snum. Okay, so we'll access edit num. So edit text is a type of data variable now. So edit text, the name was fnum, right? We want to find view by id. This is a basic standard method. When you will go through it again and again, you will get the hang of it. Okay, so just follow along for now. So find view by id, we will reference it with its id, and the name is fnum, and there you are. And then we will access the second number, edit text, exactly same way, snum is equal to find view by id, reference it with the help of the id, and the name is snum, and that's it. Now we have two variables. Fnum stores the first number and snum stores the second number, right? So okay, so let's write the first if statement. So what is the basic structure of a statement? If, and then we have condition here, and then there's this, if this, then this, else this, and then there's this else if, where a third condition is there. If this, then this, if this, then this, if this, then this. So we have a third statement here. Okay, so in if functionality, we will write a if statement. So we will access fnum first. So while accessing, fnum is of the data type edit text, not in an integer. So as we are accessing fnum as a edit text type variable, we have to first get the text inside of it and then convert it into integer for the compiler to understand that it is a numeric. Okay, so let's first take two integers and save the value of fnum and snum into those. Okay, so int x is equal to, we have to explicitly convert the text inside those added text into it. So integer, and then we will write fnum dot get text dot to string, because first we will this will convert it into string, and then explicit conversion will convert into it into integer. Direct conversion is basically problematic some in many cases, and let's name it y. Okay, and then do the same thing. Let's go back and name it y, and then explicitly convert this integer to, and it's snum dot get text dot to string, and that's it. So if x is first num, right? If x is greater than y, this is a condition, right? If x is greater than y, then अब हमें what we have to change is, we have to change the text, the plain text, where we want to something that is text view, right? So first we have to access the text view here, text view, capital T, because it's a type of variable. So text view, text view is equal to find view by id, reference it with the help of the id, and then it's edit, text. Okay, let's see what we named it. We named it as, result. I'm sorry, we named it as a result. Okay, we named it as result, that's why it was unable to find it. Okay, so that's it. So we want, then now we will manipulate the value of the result. We have exists right now. If this happened, then result dot set text, just convert the text to first number is greater than second, and then else if x is smaller than y, we want the result to set text, right? Set text second number is greater, and in other condition they both might be same, so we'll be like result dot get text, both are same numbers. Okay, and in java please don't forget the semicolons, as every statements end with semicolons, right? Okay, there's some issue, I guess. Result set text, sorry, both are same. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Let's save it and run. Now let's see if our app is working fine. So I think you must have got the basic idea behind if else statements. So if x is greater than y, then we want it to do this. X if x is smaller than y, then we want it to do this. And if else condition, we want to do this. Okay, so that is basically what conditional statements are. So let's back up and rerun our app. Okay, let's see. Uh, if your device is not having too much of RAM, Android Studio can be really heavy. So make sure your device set is having a good amount of RAM in it. Okay, let's see. Yes, I opened a wrong application. Okay, no, it's not the application I was talking about. The name of the application is Asterix. Okay, so here is it is. So first number, second number, check. Let's see. 22. 22. The expected answer is both the same. Let's see. Wait a minute. There's some issue. Wait. Okay, so the issue here is, so now it is a very good time for me to tell this, that when an issue comes, the Java compiler itself tells about the issue in the compiler panel here. Okay, so incompatible type string cannot be converted into int. Okay, let's just remove this and then see if this works. Get text. Okay, so the issue that we were facing was to convert whatever the text user is inputting from its type edit text to integer, because we can manipulate and check for greater than, less than, another logical expression in on integers only, right? So we can say 4 is greater than 5, but we cannot say the string 4 is greater than string 5, right? Or edit text 4 is greater than edit text 5. In order to convert the edit text into the string, first we say f dot num dot get text. This, it will get the text but in edit text form, and then we have to convert it into string first. Okay, so we convert it into a string. Now we have converted it into string. Now we have to convert that into an integer so that we can finally compare it with other integer. Okay, so we use this function integer dot value of, okay, capital I small v capital O, integer dot value of, and then that string inside the brackets, and then same we are doing with snum here. So with this method we can convert it into integer, and then we are comparing for greater than, and here we are comparing for less than. So the main purpose of this video was understanding if else, if and else. So if this condition is true, if the first number is greater than second number, then this will happen. If the second number is smaller, is greater, then it will write this, and if in other any condition, it will say both are same. So now let's check. This is the basic code. You can screenshot it right now to further write it down in your devices and let me know if that works, right? Let's run it on emulator first and check if it works. Okay, so all tick 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 tick. This means we are our app is working fine. Okay, let's rerun this app. Okay, so it says first number, let's say 12, and second number, let's say 12. Yes, doing when both are same, we are checking. So see, it says both are same, and let's say second number is 13. So it's compares both the numbers and say second number is greater. And if I say 123 and 13, it says the first number is greater than second. So I think our app is working fine, and you must have got the idea of if-else statements. And in the next video, we will be covering iterations. Iterations are basically some code that is repetitive. So if I say that is repetitive but with a slight change. So if I say I want to print numbers from 1 to 100, you just can't go on and on like print 1, print 2, print 3, print 4, print 4, print 5. You can't go on like that. So to tackle that, we have other features. We have like iterations, for loops, while loops. What is a loop? Loop is something that goes on and on, but with slight change. So for example, to print from 1 to 100, we'll say print 1, and then we'll say just add 1 to it every time. So it will add 1 to it, and then it will print 2, then it will add 1 to it, then it will print 3, something like that. We'll cover it up in the next video. So yeah, that was it for the today's video. I hope you learned something new. Just hit the like button, subscribe, and open the notification for the next video. In this lecture series, I'm going to upload real soon, and these lecture series are a part of a playlist that I've already made in my channel. So go through it, and I'll be updating the videos daily or one after the other, and meet you in the next video.